Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So the other day I made a video about what I really hated in Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Now the developers have actually responded with a community post and it actually has a lot of good things in there. So let's jump in and let's take a closer look because I think this is very, very important for the success of this game. So one of the big things I spoke about was the capture control mode, let's say, where basically the little circles, you have to go there to capture it. You can win the game by capturing that and you don't really have to engage the fleet. Now when I put that out, there's a lot of people that were in the same mindset as me. They hated it. People were linking me to their posts that they actually put up on the focus forums about their stance on it, and you know there was a lot of back and forth with people saying, you know, we hate this game mode, please give us the option to turn it off. Now the developers have actually responded to this, which is absolutely great because I can't remember the last time there was a game development that actually listened to its player base about something that was wrong. So they quoted, "I don't like the domination mode in campaign." So they responded, "Well, it will be pretty easy for us to add a game option that allows a player to remove capture zones during campaign battles in order to play just with the extermination win condition." Now, I'll go into this second because they don't mention multiplayer, which is a bit of a concern. We still believe that the domination mode provides a better in-game experience as it adds to a tactical layer to the battle as well as improving the game balance, but we understand the desire to annihilate your enemies. We'll do our best to deliver this change for release. If we cannot, it will be implemented in the first patch shortly after launch. We will keep you updated on this regularly as possible. So they said they're basically going to patch it in. They're basically got to give us the option to take it out. They even stated that they still think it's a better game mode, but we as the people who are playing it, well, the majority of us don't like it, so it is going to be taken out, or we're going to have the option to remove that game mode when it comes to the single player campaign. But they didn't mention multiplayer when it comes to the domination mode, as they like to call it. That's what they're calling it, domination mode. I call it capture point mode, but let's just call it domination mode from now on. So domination mode was not mentioned in the multiplayer, which is quite a concern because this is where the game survives for me, is in the multiplayer aspect. That's where the community strives and improves the game and, you know, keeps playing the game, all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that they address the multiplayer function when it comes to domination mode as well, because when you pair domination up with certain fleets are really, really good in domination mode. For example, the Necron fleets, the Eldar fleets, the Jakari fleets, the Dark Eldar, though, that's those kind of fleets, I personally think really, really benefit from that game mode because they're fast fleets. They can zoom around, and they're basically constantly in stealth. Well, the Dark Eldar are. They're constantly in stealth, so it's really, really hard to pick them up and see where they are, all that kind of stuff. And when you go against for someone like Orcs are more of a brawler fleet where their advantage is going toe-to-toe with a fleet. But, you know, if the fleet's just actively avoiding the Orc fleet, it can really be devastating to the Orc players unless you split your Orc fleet up, and that's not really the best thing to do because Orcs as a fleet are stronger together. It's that pack mentality when you come to play an actual Orc fleet. I have a solution to this, and I think the best way to go is to do something very, very simple. Like if you want that domination mode to force people to fight in multiplayer, then just make 1 point. Put 1 point in the middle. That way, the fleet who wants to kite and doesn't want to avoid has to go in the middle to win. The person who is the brawler fleet can send all his fleet into the middle, so it works out best then for both people. So I really do think if they just put 1 point in the middle for you to capture, that would stop the people from not engaging and actually, you know, all right, if I don't engage this Orc fleet, then I'm just going to lose off the capture point in the middle. At the moment, there's just too many capture points. So, like I mentioned before, the fast fleets just zoom around and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if you've got like a slow fleet like the Orcs, it's just simply not fun, and it gets so frustrating and so boring when you spend like 10 minutes of a match chasing a couple of ships. This is another thing I would like added to the to be improved in the game as well. I would personally only like main line ships to be able to capture points, not escorts. Escorts are such a pain in the ass at the moment. I think escorts are there for giving a little bit of fire support, for spotting the enemy fleets. That's it. I really don't think that these little ships should be able to capture the actual points. So I don't know if the developers want to take that on, or if anyone agrees with me. I personally think it should just be the big ships that are able to capture these points. Now, when it comes to the skirmish mode, they've actually taken on some feedback as well, which I really think is actually very, very good. This is kind of a solution to the multiplayer, but again, for someone who enjoys ranked games like me, I like to get myself on the leaderboard. It doesn't really help me. But when it comes to skirmish, you can disable the domination mode, but then again, you don't go up on the ranked leaderboards then because you're playing skirmish. So one of the main requests was level fleets up in skirmish instead of just doing ranked, and they basically said, you can see it on the screen here, we don't see any good arguments to go against it, so we will implement this for release. So that is definitely going to be happening for release. So I think that is a really, really good thing from the developers. All I ask is that maybe, again, I'm putting my hand out, please sir, more, if the developers can just give me the option to turn off domination mode for rank matches, so I can just play Annihilation when it comes to rank, because myself and others just prefer playing Annihilation. I really don't see the problem if they just give us the option, because it's we, the player, then, who are signing up to play that Annihilation, and you know, if we've got any complaints about it, then it's basically down to us, the player, who's choosing that Annihilation game mode. So if they just give us the option, that's it, just give us the option and let people choose, let the player decide what is best for him. Now, when it comes to balancing, they put out a nice little win rate chart, which I was very, very surprised at with some of the fleets in here. Are people just not playing fleets as they're intended? So at the top, win rate of 71% is the Tyranids. The Tyranids at the moment are absolutely devastating. Their boarding actions, the amount of stuff you can do with assaults, you can basically just turn a fleet within seconds. This game now, Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2, is all about assaulting the enemy fleet. If you can assault the enemy fleet perfectly, you can get the crew, the actual, you know, the crew on your enemy fleet down, and you just make hulks and stuff like that. That is the best tactic to win. That's why I'm coming up with certain tactics when it comes to the depths to starters, like mass boarding actions, lightning strikes, all that kind of stuff, because I think they're a very, very effective fleet when it comes to assault boarding. I would like them to be buffed in some little areas a bit more, but that's probably just me being a Space Marine fanboy. And my fanboyness must be paying off, because I've been absolutely purging in Dawn's name, because the Space Marines are the second, sorry, no they're not, they're the third highest fleet. They're at 48%. The second highest is the Orcs, of course. Orcs, mass boarding, everything like that, massive torpedoes, wiring, pressing that big red button, absolutely amazing. The Imperial Navy is at 46% win rate, Necrons 46% win rate, Chaos 42%, Dark Eldar, Drakari 46%. I thought they would have been really up there. I don't think people are playing Dark Eldar as they should be playing. Hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. I've actually played it against a lot of Dark Eldar players, and they're trying to go toe to toe with me, and it's like, no dude, you don't play Dark Eldar like this. You hit me, you put a lot of damage on, and then you just piss off and then come back and just do it that way. That's the best way to play that kind of fleet. Adeptus Mechanicus is 44% win rate, Tau Protector is 45, Eldar is 46, Tau Merchant is 45, and the Eldar Corsairs are 24%. I don't think a lot of people play the Corsair fleets. I haven't seen a lot of people, when I've been jumping online playing, I haven't seen a lot of people actually playing those fleets, but it's very, very interesting to see that. I definitely knew Tyranids would be at the top, but 71% win rate for them, that's like nearly double everyone else on there. It's absolutely devastating. They go into a bit more information about the actual nerfing of certain fleets and buffing certain fleets. So for example, a nerf for the Tyranids should be mostly based on ship point costs, so I expect some of the meanest ships, or some of the most abused, no, I'm not going to say abused, one of the ships that probably is the best ships to probably, have a massive point increase, so you can't take as many. A buff for the Corsair ships will be cheaper. It's basically just going the opposite way, and we'll have access to Shroud Hull attribute, which cloaks the ship at the start of battle, so then again they're going to be having the little stealth thing. A slight nerf for the Orcs. I really want to know what's good about Orcs. Like, I've played Orcs, and I personally think, from my standpoint, playing Orcs is just all about the numbers, because for those of you who've watched me, like when I live stream and stuff like that, I just go in there fire all the torpedoes and press a big red button and just ram everything. I normally knock out half my fleet doing so, but I didn't think orcs would be that far up there on the list, but, you know, prove me wrong. So, yes, they've scored a bit more information about that nerfs, buffs and stuff like that. Hey, developers, if you are listening, maybe if you can buff the Space Marines to have a bit more better attack when it comes to boarding. Come on, guys, these are the Emperor's finest. These are the Space Marines. We should be going on there and wiping out shit in one boarding action. I know, that's probably my fanboyness coming out. Right, on to the next bit, which is the multiplayer. So they stated here, we have found a way to improve classification of players in the leaderboards, as it's currently very hard to get out of the Bronze League. This update is now live, so please let us know if this seems better and fairer to you, or in brackets, or not. Now, one of the things I'm concerned about when it comes to leagues and stuff like that, say for example, I play this game right at the start, and I somehow get myself into a silver, gold league and stuff like that, and then a few months down the line, a lot of people have dropped off from playing the game, and you really only have like this new batch of people playing the game. I really hope that because I'm already classed as gold, it will matchmake me properly, because the last thing I want is just be sitting there hoping that a gold or another silver player comes on, and you know it's all down for a certain person coming on, and I'm just matched with them all the time. So I'm not too sure how the league system works. So if they can give us a bit more clarification on that, then I would be super happy from the developers on that. I would have expected a bit more information about the multiplayer, because like I mentioned in my video the other day, I still think there's a ton of things they could have. A chat room, player made rooms for you to enter. I would love a spectator mode, a replay capture mode, so I can share my epic battles with people online, all that kind of stuff. I really wish they would have addressed this kind of stuff, because that's been a big outcry from the community as well. So hopefully we'll get that from the developers maybe in the next community post or something like that. Alright chaps, that is me done for another video. I hope you've enjoyed my little talkings. It's just probably just me just been ranting. I hope you've enjoyed the purging in the background, me purging as my glorious Imperial fists. If you want to check this out for yourself, it's over on the Steam page. Go and read it, give it a nice little read, leave your comment on the article like I did. Yeah, just go and check it out for yourself. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you all soon. Have a great night, and purge on, brothers. Purge in the name of the Emperor, of course. See you now, and bye-bye.